Hi guys, how is your day going guys? Thank you so much for your joining. Hurry up to join, to write your name in the chat guys. Please guys, hurry up everybody to write your name in the chat. Making the like and subscribing to the channel. Duck, how are you dear Duck? Thank you so much for your joining. Respected Duck, thank you so much for your joining my dear. Lots of love and respect for you joining. Where are you from watching dear Dog? I have to ask a laughing disco guys. If someone can easily to send a laughing disco and do a super chat for the support guys. Thank you so much for hurry up everybody. Hurry up guys, everybody to write your name in the chat. Louisa, hi dear Louisa, how are you Louisa? Thank you so much for your joining, respected Louisa. Please guys, you should have to write your name in the chat guys. Thank you so much for your joining, respected Louisa. Larry, how are you Larry? Dami, how are you Dami? Thank you so much for your joining. Sunny, how are you Sunny? Thank you so much for your joining. Dal, how are you Dal? Ryan, how are you Ryan? Thank you so much for your joining, respected Ryan. Everybody to write your name in the chat. Racy, how are you dear Racy? Nisha, how are you dear Nisha? Thank you so much for your joining. Santi, how are you dear Santi? Thank you so much for your joining, respected Santi. Hurry up guys. Lily, how are you pretty Lily? Thank you so much for your joining, Lily. How are you pretty Lily? Minia, how are you Minia? Thank you so much for your joining. Any person can send the laughing disco or do the super chat guys. Felix, how are you dear Felix? Thank you so much for your joining. No, how are you dear No? Thank you so much for your joining, respected No. Car, how are you dear Car? Thank you so much for your joining. Alana, how are you dear Alana? Any person can do the super chat or send the laughing disco guys. Sporterman has Aiden, how are you dear Aiden? Thank you so much for your joining, respected Aiden. Fala, how are you dear Fala? Thank you so much for your joining. Assad, how are you dear Assad? Thank you so much for your joining, respected Assad. Liz, how are you dear Liz? Thank you so much for your joining. Severus, hi Severus, how are you Severus? Thank you so much for your joining dear Severus. Eunice, how are you Eunice? Any person can send the laughing disco or do the super chat guys. Thank you so much for your joining. Superman, okay, okay there. Superman, hi Superman, thank you so much for your joining, my dear. Mariam, hi pretty Mariam, how are you Mariam? Thank you so much for your joining, respected Mariam. Mouse, how are you Mouse? Thank you so much for your joining. Lily, how are you pretty Lily? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Lily. Amelie, how are you Amelie? Thank you so much for your joining, respected Amelie. Any person can send the laughing disco guys. Jax, how are you dear Jax? Thank you so much for your joining. Soham, how are you, Soham? Thank you so much for your joining, respected Soham. Uh, Aisha, how are you, Aisha? Thank you so much for your joining, respected Aisha. Anna, Roxanne, hi pretty Roxanne, Roxanne, hi pretty Roxanne. Thank you so much for your joining, pretty Roxanne. Sophia, hi there, Sophia. Any person can send the laughing disco or do the super chat, guys. Faz, how are you, dear Faz? Thank you so much for your joining. Joy, how are you, dear Joy? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Joy. Paxton, how are you, Paxton? How are you, Paxton? Thank you so much for your joining. Anas, how are you, dear Anas? Thank you so much for your joining. Anglaki, hi Anglaki, thank you so much for your joining. Prodas, hi Prodas, how are you, Prodas? Thank you so much for your joining, respected Prodas. Jack, how are you, Jack? Thank you so much for your joining. Michael, how are you, Michael? Thank you so much for your joining. Any person can send the laughing disco. Nadeem, thank you for your sitar, dear Nadeem. Thank you, Nadeem. Thank you, Nadeem. Any person can send the sitar, guys. Thank you so much, dear Nadeem. Nicholas, how are you, Nicholas? How are you, Nicholas? Thank you so much for your joining, respect, and Nicholas. Matti, how are you, Matti? Thank you, Mati. Danny, how are you, dear Danny? How are you, Danny? Thank you so much for your joining, respected Danny. Olesa, how are you, dear Olesia? How are you, Olesia? Thank you so much for your joining. Gulpana, how are you, dear Gulpana? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Gulpana. Hurry up, guys, making the like and subscribing to the channel. Any person can send the laughing disco, guys. Morgan, hi Morgan, how are you, Morgan? Please, guys, to do the super chat, send the laughing disco. Lexi, how are you, dear Lexi? How are you, Lexi? Thank you so much for your joining. Sabesita, hi Sabesita, how are you, Sabesita? Thank you. Gulpana, I write your name, Maniro. Hurry up, guys. Amanda, how are you, Amanda? How are you, Amanda? Thank you so much for your joining. Sasja, how are you, Sasja? Thank you so much for your joining. Isaku, how are you, Isaku? Thank you so much for your joining. Please, everybody, to write your name in the chat, guys. Mohammad, hi Mohammad, how are you, Mohammad? Thank you so much for your joining. Magmood, thank you so much for your joining. Branley, hi Branley, how are you, Branley? Thank you so much for your joining, Branley. Please, guys, everybody, to write your name in the chat. Fatiha, hi Fatiha, how are you, Fatiha? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Fatiha. Leo, how are you, Leo? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Leo. Charles, how are you, Charles? Thank you so much for your joining, respected Charles. Novak, how are you, Novak? Thank you so much for your joining, respected Novak. Hurry up, guys. Nagi, how are you, dear Nagi? Thank you so much for your joining, respected Nagi. Carolina, hi Carolina. Thank you so much for your joining, dear Carolina. Joy, how are you, Joy? Any person can send the laughing disco, guys. Send a laughing disco. Do the super chat, guys, please. Alfender, how are you, Alfender? Thank you so much for your joining, Alfender. Yasmin, how are you, pretty Yasmin? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Yasmin. Igor, hi Igor. Thank you so much for your joining, respected Igor. Hurry up, guys. Kaiser, hi dear Kaiser. How are you, Kaiser? Thank you so much for your joining, respected Kaiser. Aiden, how are you, Aiden? Please, guys, make a small donation. How are you, Leda? Make a small donation, guys. Like you wanna send a finger hearts, click on the gift icon. You wanna send this finger hearts. You wanna do the super chat. Yeah, Asmi, how are you? Asmi, how are you? Asmi, Jeffrey, hi Jeffrey, how are you, Jeffrey? How are you, dear Jeffrey? Erica, how are you, Erica? Hurry up, guys, to write your name in the chat, guys. Larry, how are you, Larry? Oh, thank you, Mabu. Thank you, Mohe. Thank you, Mohe. Mohe. Thank you, Mohe. Mohe, can you send a laughing disco manner? Brendan, hi, Brendan. How are you, Brendan? Lera, how are you, Lera? How are you, Lera? Thank you so much for your joining. Samina, hi, dear Samina. Thank you so much for your joining. Respected Samina. Adam, how are you, Adam? How are you, Adam? Thank you so much for your joining. Thank you, Mohe. Thank you, bro. Write to my name. Brendan, I write your name. There looks that here is your name. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Everybody have to write your name in the chat, guys. Hurry up. Hurry up to write your name. I gift you laughing disco. Yeah, you can gift me a laughing disco. Zamar, thank you, Zamar. Thank you. I'm waiting for the laughing disco, my dear. Moon, hi Moon. How are you, Moon? Moon, yeah, guys. If you wanna can easily, you should send me a laughing disco for my support, guys. I don't have enough diamonds. You wanna try a 6-7, my dear? Mohe, you wanna try a 6-7? Yeah. Salwa, how is Salwa? How are you, dear Salwa? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much. Thank you. Ronaldo, 6-7. Yeah, 6-7. Ronaldo, hi, Ronaldo. Kashika, how are you, Kashika? Okay, Mahbub, I write your name there. Mahbub looks that. Mahbub, here is your name. I write your name many times, my love. Ophir, hi Ophir. Everybody to write your name in the chat. Rahul, hi Rahul. Zal, how are you, dear Zal? Hurry up, guys. Lara, hi Lara. Altaf, how are you, dear Altaf? Thank you so much for your joining, Altaf. Danisha, hi Danisha. Please, everybody, any person can send the laughing disco, guys, or do a super chat for the support, guys. Yeah. Uh, Anusha, hi Anusha. Thank you so much for your joining, Anusha. Amy, hi dear Amy. How are you, Amy? Thank you for your Amy. 6-7. Yeah, 6-7. Any person can send the 6-7, guys. Harry. And Theodora. Theodora. Hi, Theodora. Amy, I write your name. There looks that any person can send the laughing disco for the support, guys. And no, Antonia. Hi, Antonia. Emily. Mahoon. Hi, Mahoon. Amy, Emily. I write the both Emily and Amy. Odiver. Hi, Odiver. Please, guys, any person can send the laughing disco. Only a laughing disco you should send, guys. Please. We can laughing disco or do a super chat. Vincent, how are you, Vincent? Thank you so much for your joining. Gloria, hi Gloria. How are you, Gloria? Alize, hi dear Alize. How are you, Alize? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Alize. Please, guys, you should try a one laughing disco, guys. You should try a one laughing disco, yeah, guys. Star Stormy, hi Stormy. Thank you so much for your joining, dear Stormy. Moon, okay, dear. Moon, Bobs. Okay, okay, dear. Daria, hi Daria. How are you, Daria? Alex, how are you, dear Alex? How are you, dear Alex? Thank you so much for your joining. Sophia, hi Sophia. How are you, dear Sophia? Savannah, how are you, Savannah? How are you, Savannah? Vanna, how are you, dear Vanna? Any person can send the laughing disco, guys. Anriva, hi Anriva, how are you, Anriva? Lucas, how are you, dear Lucas? Guys, any person can send the laughing disco. Simon, how are you, Simon? Rebecca, how are you, Rebecca? Rita, how are you, dear Rita? Any person can send the laughing disco, guys. Yeah, guys, you should have to send a one laughing disco for the support, guys. Only a one laughing disco if you wanna can easily. Hurry up, guys! Everybody to write your name in the chat. Zimmer, I write your name. Zimmer looks that. Here is Zimmer's. Here is Zimmer's looks that. You did not send the laughing disco. I'm gonna waiting your laughing disco. You know. Zimmer, I'm waiting your laughing disco, my dear. If you wanna can easily, you should send me a one laughing disco for my support, my dear. Thank you so much. Thank you, my dear. Hurry up, guys. Everybody have to write your name in the chat. Hamza, hurry ahead, dear Hamza. How are you, Hamza? Gloria, hi, Gloria. MC Koi. Please, guys, to write your name in the chat. Maria, hi, Maria. How are you, Maria? Hurry up, guys, to write your name in the chat. Nagi, how are you, Nagi? Daria, how are you, Daria? Thank you so much for your joining. Please, guys, everybody have to write your name in the chat, guys. Thank you so much for your joining. Joy, how are you, dear Joy? Thank you so much for your joining. Amina, how are you, dear Amina? Thank you so much for your joining, respected Amina. Please, everybody, to write your name in the chat, guys. Every single person have to write your name in the chat, guys. Abstain, hi Abstain, how are you, dear Abstain? How are you, Abstain? Liz, how are you, Liz? Thank you so much for your joining. Gigi, how are you, Gigi? Any person can do the super chat, guys, and send a laughing disco. Johnny, how are you, Johnny? Thank you, Johnny. Cece, how are you, Cece? How are you, dear Cece? Thank you so much for your joining. Why you are laughing, my dear? Jack, how are you, dear Jack? Thank you so much for your joining, respected Jack. Isa, how are you, Isa? Khurshid, how are you, Khurshid? Sinas, hi dear Sinas. Thank you so much for your joining, respected Sinas. Please, everybody, to write your name in the chat, guys. Walter, how are you, dear Walter? A lot of love and respect for your joining. Alora, how are you, Alora? Thank you so much for your joining. Combs, how are you, Combs? Thank you so much for your joining, Combs. Sane, how are you, Sane? Ebony, hi Ebony, how are you, Ebony? Please, everybody, have to write your name in the chat. Olun, how are you, dear Olun? A lot of love and respect for your joining. Ale, any person can send the laughing disco for the support, guys. Any person, please. Tang, how are you, dear Tang? Thank you so much for your joining. Like, how are you like? Please everybody. Danny, how are you, Danny? Thank you so much for your joining, respected Danny. Hurry up, guys. And Nadira, hi Nadira. Hurry up, guys. Everybody to write your name in the chat. I will be write only the names, guys. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for your joining. I came. How are you? I came. Thank you so much for your joining. Messi, how are you, Messi? Messi, I write your name earlier. Harry, how are you, Harry? Leborn, how are you, Leborn? Increase the likes, guys. Dania, how are you, Dania? Hurry up, guys. Connie, how are you, Connie? Thank you so much for your joining. Rose, how are you, Rose? Falla, how are you, Falla? Bellingham, how are you, Bellingham? Race, how are you, Race? Novak, how are you, dear Novak? Thank you so much for your joining. Rahul, how are you, Rahul? Barrick, how are you, Barrick? Any person can do the super chat, guys. Shalbar, hi Shalbai, how are you, Shalbai? Megan, how are you, Megan? Thank you so much for your joining. Alora, hi Alora. Georgie, hi Georgie. Any person can send the laughing disco or do the super chat, guys. Georgie, I write your name earlier. Julia, hi Julia, how are you, Julia? Hurry up, everybody. Have to write your name in the chat. Eric, how are you, dear Eric? River, how are you, River? Dal, how are you, Dal? Thank you so much for your joining. Any person can send the laughing disco, guys. Damla, how are you, Damla, how are you, Damla? How are you, dear Damla? Thank you so much for your joining, respected Damla. Cholas, how are you, Cholas? Thank you so much for your joining. Nicole, how are you, Nicole? Danny, how are you, Danny? Hurry up, every person to write your name in the chat, guys. Asad, how are you, Asad? Omar, how are you, dear Omar? Nadira, hi Nadira. Hi there, hi MC Ideas. How are you, MC? Hurry up, guys, to write your name in the chat. Any person can send the laughing disco, guys. Paris, how are you, dear Paris? Any superhero is here for sending the laughing disco? Valerie, hi Valerie. How are you, dear Valerie? Eunice, how are you, Eunice? Any person can do the super chat, guys, or send the laughing disco, guys. Matti, how are you, Matti? Thank you so much for your joining, respected Matti. Hurry up, guys. Eunice, I write your name, my dear Eunice. What you have writing there? It's a word. It's a word. It's its meaning is very bad. That's why. Oh my God. Al Alize, Harry, Alize, Harry, Alize. Hurry up. Amira, Amira. Hurry up, guys, to write your name in the chat. Megan, how are you, Megan? How are you, Megan? So it's another name. Alize, how are you, Alize? How are you, Alize? I don't have answer on that, my dear. Nadira, hi Nadira. Zan, how are you, Zan? Alice, how are you, Alice? Any person can send the laughing disco, guys. Any superhero is here today. You should have only a one laughing disco, yeah, guys. Only a one laughing disco. Who is going to sending a laughing disco, guys? Liam, how are you, Liam? Thank you so much for your joining, respected Liam. Harry, how are you, Harry? Any person can sending the laughing disco, guys. Any person is here to sending a laughing disco.